So welcome to the Mwegas. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button so that we can continue having these nice, engaging discussions. So today I want to focus on the issue of consent, especially when it comes to issues of sex. Consent is agreement to do something, right? That's how I understand consent to be. Like, I agree to do A, B, C, D. So when it comes to sex, I agree to have sex with person X or person Y. Now this sex has, the consent has to be willingly given. Now there are people who blackmail or coerce those people they want to have sex with, or even threaten them. So that is considered not consent, because the person agreed to do something unwillingly, because either violence was threatened or violence was promised, or they were coerced in a way or blackmailed. So yes, that stands. The issue I have currently is this notion that consent can be withdrawn at any time, full stop. Do I believe that a person can change their mind? Yes. Now, the issue I have with this any time is that it does not give a specific timeline within which this consent can be withdrawn. So when left open, it means that a person can withdraw consent even a year after the fact. A year after the act, a person can withdraw consent, and then what you two people did then is considered that R word. Does that even make sense? I do understand when somebody withdraws consent or says, I no longer want to go along with this issue before that act is done. That is acceptable. That is something which is agreeable. Any person using common sense can agree and say, yes, that makes sense. However, when the act is done and then you feel guilty, and then now you want to claim that you are withdrawing consent a day after, a week after, a month after, a year after, what are we talking about? Does that even make sense? When we say consent can be withdrawn, let us add that consent can be withdrawn before or even during the act. We can even argue the point of, I no longer want to continue with this, and then now that has to stop, or it is expected that it will stop. I can concede that much. But after the fact, after the act, so what are you withdrawing consent for? It's already done, gone, done. Does it mean that if, for example, I had sex with somebody today, and it was okay, and it was mutually agreed upon, and we were good, and 1 week later we were still saying, hey, yes, it was a good experience, and then 10, 20, 30 years later she thinks, oh, I shouldn't have slept with so and so, and then withdraws that consent. What are we talking about? Can we be clear? Can we teach, as we are teaching men that no means no, can we also teach women that yes means yes? There are a lot of things we do that we regret later. That is part of life. But you cannot go back and undo, especially something as sensitive as this, something that could potentially put somebody else in prison. We don't joke with certain things. We can agree that, okay, yes, I made a mistake. Yes, I slept with so and so, and I you know what, I think it was a bad idea. That is allowed. But you cannot later claim that I did not give consent to this guy. So I gave consent to this guy, but I'm withdrawing consent now. So that means women, yes means yes. Before you say yes, think about it. Man, before you say yes to a woman, think about it. Think long and hard. Because you cannot withdraw the yes after the fact. So men should agree, we are not going to coerce, we are not going to threaten, we are going to ask for willing consent, and if we are told no, we are good. Women should also agree that if I want it, if I say yes to it, then okay, no matter what happens later, no matter the feelings I have about the act later, I agreed to have this act, and it is upon me to live with whatever act I agreed to. Don't put somebody else in prison because you woke up the next day and realize that, oh shit, I made a mistake, I should not have done ABCD and all this. And then you go saying that somebody raped you. While you knew, and you, in your heart of hearts, you know that you agreed to this thing. Men, if a woman is drunk, don't do it. If she even looks like she's not sure, don't take it further than that. Just withdraw. Even if she comes following you later, just tell her, no. Go think about it. Call me when you are ready. And I don't know, we just need to be recording these calls and recording these conversations. So that later when she goes and start claiming some weird stuff, you come with a recording and you say, no, actually, this is a recording of her calling me to go do the act. This is a recording of her agreeing that we are going to do this. So that's all for me on this topic. See you in the next video. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment on this video. Share your thoughts. Tell me what you think about this issue. And those people who want to call me and brand me this apologist, that apologist, you are welcome to do so.